Sight for Wight Talking News for Friday the 6th of November 2020.
List of 14 reasons why you can leave home during second coronavirus lockdown from Island Echo. As police gear up to enforce the second coronavirus lockdown, Island Echo has put together an easy-to-read list of all the reasons you are permitted to leave your home address over the next 4 weeks. The rules remain in force until the 2nd of December. You can only leave the house for the following reasons. 1. To shop for basic necessities like food and medical supplies, which includes shopping for pet food. You're also able to shop for supplies needed to keep your home maintained where absolutely essential, or to obtain money. 2. To go to work and travel for work where it is not possible to work or provide services from home, including voluntary or charitable roles. 3. To take exercise or enjoy recreation outside, either alone or with other members of your household or bubble. This includes at playgrounds. You may meet with one other person from another household on your own. Young children/babies do not count as one person for these purposes. 4. To attend school or another educational establishment, or to take a child to school or childminders or nursery. University students should not return home. 5. To seek medical assistance or to attend medical appointments, and this includes taking your pet to the vets. 6. To provide care or support to someone vulnerable or provide emergency assistance. 7. To fulfill legal obligations like attending court hearings or taking part in legal proceedings. 8. To access critical public services, which includes visiting a waste or recycling centre. You are able to access services provided by the Department for Work and Pensions, such as the Job Centre, or services for victims of crime, drug recovery, etc. Births, marriages and deaths can still be registered. 9. To attend a funeral with a maximum of 29 other people present. Only close family and friends advised to attend. The scatterings of ashes is permitted with up to 15 people. 10. To co-parent. Parents who are separated can continue their existing parenting arrangements, with children allowed to move between homes. 11. To go to a place of worship, but only if you are a minister of religion or worship leader, or you're attending a single prayer. No services. 12. To move house and to visit an estate agent and or show home. 13. To avoid injury or illness or to escape of risk of harm, including domestic abuse. 14. To attend an event commemorating Remembrance Sunday. Police across the country have the power to fine citizens who are outside for reasons other than those listed in this article. If you fail to comply with their order to return home, you could be arrested. The government's instructions are not requests, it is law.
This is Brian reading an article from On the Wight. Hover Travel awarded highest level of government accessibility accreditation. The government's Inclusive Transport Leaders Scheme recognises operators who put passengers with disabilities at the heart of their service. Minister of State for Transport Chris Heaton-Harris MP has announced that Hover Travel has been awarded leader level in the government's Inclusive Transport Leaders Scheme. The leader level is the top level of accreditation in the scheme, with Hover Travel being one of 2 companies recognised at this level alongside Brighton and Hove buses. Accessibility Minister Chris Heaton-Harris said, "Our Inclusive Transport Leaders Scheme recognises operators which put disabled passengers at the heart of their service. I'm delighted that Hover Travel has secured the top accreditation as an organisation which takes great pride in providing accessible transport and helps give passengers confidence to travel." Hover Travel is the only marine transport operator and the only ferry operator to be accredited in the scheme. Having launched Hover Care in 2016, the Isle of Wight Ferry Company has developed the initiative from a series of comprehensive internal training procedures into a company-wide approach which regularly shares best practice with other businesses. Hover Travel has reached out to the communities on both sides of the Solent, hosting open days for different community action and special interest groups. These sessions provided valuable feedback for developing better procedures and enhanced facilities such as quiet spaces, as well as giving individuals and their friends and families a first-hand guided experience on the hovercraft. Neil Chapman, Managing Director of Hover Travel, explains, Hover Travel is a strong champion for accessibility, and we have made hover care part of our corporate DNA. All of my team passionately believe the excitement of a hovercraft flight should be accessible to all, and we focus on engaging with our customers to help us achieve this aim. This accreditation also recognises our commitment to helping other companies with their own journey to becoming more accessible.
This is Chris reading an article from the Island Echo. St Mary's cracks down on visitors for national lockdown. The Isle of Wight NHS Trust has announced restrictions to visitors for all of services from Thursday as the country entered a national lockdown. Following the UK government's announcement that England will be entering a second lockdown, the changes to the visitor policy reflects the national call to action to reduce day-to-day contact, to avoid meeting people you do not live with, and to stay at home except for specific purposes. Visitors will only be considered in exceptional circumstances where one visitor, an immediate family member or carer, will be permitted to visit. These include one regular carer for a patient with additional needs, for example, dementia or learning difficulties, one parent or guardian for a child, one person accompanying a person in labour, for a patient receiving end-of-life care, for a patient where a change in treatment would benefit from a meaningful exchange, one close relative for a long-stay patient where a visit would improve well-being. Alice Webster, Director of Nursing, said, "Protecting patients and those who care for them is our top priority." Thankfully, the number of cases and deaths linked to COVID-19 at St Mary's has been relatively low when compared with much of the country. However, we are not complacent and will do everything possible to keep people safe. We understand how important visiting family and friends is, but we have to prioritise the safety of our patients, staff, and the wider community. Restricting the number of visits to the hospital will help contain the spread of COVID-19, and we are grateful to people for their cooperation and understanding. To help families and loved ones to stay connected with patients staying at the hospital, the Trust are running a Message to Loved Ones service and an Essential Items Delivery service, and these are being promoted as an alternative to visiting in person. From tomorrow, NHS trusts across England will be continuing their services as they did over the summer, facilitating social distancing throughout hospitals and continuing strict infection control measures. St Mary's Hospital will also continue to welcome birth partners who can be present for scans, labour, birth and postnatal visits. This will remain under review to ensure the safety and support for those who are pregnant, their babies and our staff. Alice continued, "Although we are restricting the attendance of visitors, we urge people in need of healthcare to please continue to use our services. Arrive for scans, Turn up for appointments and pick up your medication. We want everyone to continue to access healthcare services now and throughout the winter.
Stack of flares found at Seaclose Park. Following Coast Guard alert from the Island Echo, a stack of flares, some in a potentially dangerous state, were discovered in Newport last night, Wednesday, after a Coast Guard search was launched. A number of individuals reported seeing red flames in the vicinity of Newport and Cowes at around 20:45. The sighting of the flares, an international signal of distress, prompted both Coast Guard rescue team to be mobilised at 21:18. Ventnor CRT were tasked to the area of the River Medina, and it didn't take long to find the source of the alert. A number of flares, both fired and not fired, were found in a field at Seaclose Park in the eastern side of the river. With almost certain confirmation of no persons in danger at sea, the search was called off and police informed of the discovery. Coast Guards have said that some of the flares were in excess of 25 years old, potentially making them a safety hazard. The incident was handed over to the police, who were understood to have informed the Explosive Ordnance Disposal (EOD) team at Portsmouth. Seaclose Park remained cordoned off overnight. HM Coast Guard are warning that it is an offence to discharge a flare on land.
Lockdown. Free parking to be offered on Newport High Street. The Isle of Wight Council says up to 30 minutes free parking will be offered in an area of Newport High Street for the duration of the second lockdown. Plans released will see temporary barriers installed at the lower end of the High Street removed in order to free up around 35 parking bays. The bays will be free to use for the first 30 minutes for the duration of the current lockdown period. Drivers will still need to collect a ticket from the parking meter in order to confirm the half-hour stay. The pavement widening barriers were introduced in June to aid social distancing, as shoppers returned to the High Street following the first COVID-19 lockdown. But with people once again encouraged to stay at home under new national restrictions, the councils plan to remove them by the end of next week and introduce the free parking offer. Welcoming the move, Councillor Ian Ward said the council was committed to doing as much as it could to keep the island safe through the challenging weeks ahead. He said, "The plans announced on Wednesday will not only support our business community in Newport, but also our residents by enabling quick and easy access to the High Street for essential shopping trips for food and medication, as well as takeaway services. These measures will ensure people can access services that are vital to us all in the current circumstances." Meanwhile, a loading bay in St James Square, Newport, is also set to be removed to create additional safe space for pedestrians as requested by Newport and Carisbrooke Community Council.
Hello, this is Steve reading a story from Isle of Wight Radio's website, headlined "Supermarkets Move Aside. Isle of Wight farming family opens milk vending machine." A family of Isle of Wight farmers is calling on islanders to get behind its new dairy venture, which it says is the cream of the crop. The team at Crocker's Farm wants national change to move aside and for Isle of Wight residents to support local produce. It is hoped the new cow's milk shed, which has officially opened today, that's Wednesday, the 4th of November, will give islanders an easily accessible and cheap alternative to supermarkets. The shed, based along the main Newport to Cowes Road, will offer freshly pasteurised milk from a vending machine, which has come from the family's herd of pedigree Holstein Friesian cows. Lord Lieutenant for the Isle of Wight, Susie Sheldon, cut the ribbon at today's opening ceremony. She says the venture is absolutely fabulous. It's all the dairy farmers on the Isle of Wight working together. The cows live here, they are milked here, the milk goes over to Bridlesford Farm to be pasteurised, and then some of it comes back here and into this amazing vending machine. It's extraordinary. You're not getting Coca-Cola out of it. You put your bottle in and you get milk. And of course, the wonderful milkshakes. It's really good for the island because we are not sending milk off the island and bringing it back. We're doing everything here. The venture is a family affair, with husband and wife Mary and Paul Bradley coming up with the idea alongside Lucy Collis and Julie Bradley. Natural Enterprise and Isle of Wight Rural Fund have also supported the project. Speaking to the Isle of Wight radio, Mary said, "We just wanted to pull something together, local, fresh and with our own produce, and go for it really. We were suffering low milk prices and we thought we better try and do something to help ourselves. There's no cash required for the vending machine, which takes contactless card payments. Glass bottles can be purchased on site at £2 and are reusable and dishwasher friendly." Paul and Mary's daughter Lucy Collis said, "During these testing times of COVID-19, it has become clearer that people want local produce direct from the farmer, to reduce food miles, to reduce plastic packaging, and to know and learn where their food is coming from. So having the environment and circumstances we currently live in change dramatically, we decided to invest and install a machine that is designed and built in the UK. As well as milk, flavoured milkshakes ranging from strawberry to banana, you can purchase these at the shed. It will cost £1.60 for a bottle of milkshake and £1.10 per bottle for whole milk. The Cow's Milk Shed will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. daily.
Lynx family arrival, a first for the Isle of Wight Zoo. From Island Echo. The Isle of Wight Zoo has announced the arrival of a family of Eurasian lynx, a species that's never been a feature of the island previously. The lynx will be arriving mid-lockdown and will be ready and waiting to greet their adoring public upon reopening in December. The group consists of a mum and her 2 fully grown cubs who will be living together at the sanctuary. Although an unlikely time to be bringing in new animals, the Wild Heart Trust is committed to helping animals in desperate need of support, and when the team heard of 3 lynx that were urgently in need of rehoming, they stepped in. Mark Fox, head of animals, said, "We're extremely excited to be welcoming lynx into the Wild Heart family. They're amazing animals that epitomise the stealth and grace of an apex predator. Heralding from northern climes, they will be well suited to our climate and will be sure to be out playing and relaxing in the day." Although the 3 lynx will make island history when they arrive, there would have been lynx roaming the British Isles many years ago, along with other large predators such as wolves and bears. Unfortunately, with the expansion of human settlements and the overhunting of both animals themselves and their prey base, such predators were soon wiped out by early medieval times. Lawrence Bates, CEO, has said, "It's an amazing project to be involved in. To be able to help provide sanctuary for these 3 animals in desperate need is what the Trust is all about. And to bring such an iconic predator onto the island for the first time in history is such an amazing thing to do for our visitors, providing great opportunities for conservation education."
This is Brian reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Red Funnel proud of its staff following East Cowes incident. Red Funnel says it is proud of its staff following a very challenging situation at its East Cowes ferry terminal on Sunday afternoon. The Cross Solent Ferry Company says a vulnerable passenger refusing to disembark the Red Funnel ferry was the cause of disruption. Red Funnel says its staff and everyone involved did everything they could to resolve the situation as safely as possible, with the passengers' welfare the primary concern. At 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon, Red Falcon had ground to a halt in the East Cowes terminal, causing significant delays. Police and ambulance were called to the scene, and the passenger, a woman in her 20s, was brought off the vessel. Red Funnel says that although the passenger was accompanied by 2 carers, it was a very challenging situation for its crew. It said it was very proud of the efforts displayed by staff members who assisted. We experienced a delay to our vehicle ferry service during the afternoon of November the 1st due to a vulnerable passenger refusing to disembark Red Falcon following her arrival in East Cowes at 4 p.m. Although the passenger was accompanied by 2 carers, it was a very challenging situation for our crew, which resulted in police attending and subsequently the ambulance service as a precaution. No passengers or crew were hurt during the incident. Everyone involved did everything they could to resolve the situation as safely as possible, with the passengers' welfare at the forefront of our response. We are very proud of the efforts displayed by the Red Funnel crew who assisted. Red Falcon resumed her planned sailings at 6:10 p.m, around 1 hour and 40 minutes after her scheduled departure. We apologise to our other passengers who were disrupted by the delay.
This is Chris, reading an article from the Island Echo. Military in secret exercise with Isle of Wight ferry in the Western Solent. A military exercise which appears to be simulating the hijacking of a cross-Solent ferry took place with the help of Red Funnel on Wednesday. The Red Eagle car ferry travelled down the Western Solent to play a vital role in the joint agency exercise between the military and civilian authorities. Merlin and Chinook helicopters are circling overhead this lunchtime, alongside fixed-wing aircraft from HMS Coast Guard and the Royal Air Force. Coast Guard Rescue 175 helicopter from Leon Solent has also been involved with the incident, with the National Police Air Service helicopter also present. Island Echo is told that commandos abseiled down ropes from a Chinook helicopter landing on the deck of the Red Eagle. Wednesday's exercise comes less than 2 weeks after the Nave Andromeda incident off Ventnor, in which the Special Boat Service stormed the oil tanker after 7 stowaways became violent to the ship's crew. Much like the real incident, a Chinook helicopter has left the SBS base in Poole and has travelled directly towards the ferry in the Solent. A number of aircraft involved in Wednesday's training scenario were actually on scene off the Isle of Wight coast on the 25th of October. Red Funnel has confirmed that the Red Eagle ferry took part in a military training exercise, but to maintain the integrity of the operation has refused to provide any further information. It has now been confirmed to Island Echo that the exercise was nationally organised by the Ministry of Defence and had been planned for several months.
Hello, this is Steve reading a story from Isle of Wight radio website, headlined Isle of Wight Naval Officer Awarded for Peacekeeping Efforts in Afghanistan. A Royal Navy officer from the Isle of Wight has been recognised for her peacekeeping efforts in Afghanistan. Rachel Smallwood is returning home to Ryde after spending 7 months in Kabul. The 44-year-old commander has received an American medal in recognition of her outstanding efforts with US forces. The main focus of Rachel's time in Afghanistan has been making Afghan National Defence Security Forces both more effective and more affordable. That has meant synchronising training and advising personnel across 3 ministries: the Office of National Security, the Ministry of Defence and the Ministry of the Interior, leading a new department to coordinate security operations and plans with Afghan ministers, helping to plan and run a national conference to plan the future of the country's security forces, and she introduced new training for ministerial advisors. The Royal Navy says Rachel has left her mark on the country's defence and security forces, making them more effective and better value for money, as well as training political advisors. Commander Smallwood said, "I gain immense satisfaction from making a positive difference to the lives of others, whether they be my fellow servicewomen and servicemen, or people in countries where conflict and instability makes life very challenging for them." Senior US officer in the headquarters, Lieutenant General John Diedrich, presented the naval officer with the US Meritorious Service Medal. The honour is typically awarded to American personnel, including Gulf War I leader Stormer Norman Schwarzkopf and Vietnam veteran and US Senator John McCain. Rachel says the medal was a lovely surprise. "I feel privileged to have been part of the Royal Navy's contribution to the NATO mission to bring peace and security to the Afghan people, and honoured to have been presented with the US Meritorious Service Medal. I joined the Armed Forces 24 years ago with the plan of serving 4 years. I'm still serving because I gain immense satisfaction from making a positive difference to the lives of others." According to the citation, Rachel's outstanding leadership, expertise and dedication to duty significantly enhanced the success of the command's mission during military operations and set the standards for others to emulate. Her distinctive accomplishments reflect great credit upon herself and the Royal Navy. Originally from Ventnor, Rachel started her military career as a Royal Marines musician. She performed in the Isle of Wight Youth Concert Band and Symphony Orchestra before joining up in 1996, then subsequently became a Royal Navy training officer. Once back in the UK, she will resume her work helping to chair the Naval Servicewomen's Network, which champions the work of females in the Royal Navy, and enjoying family time with her son and husband, a retired Royal Marines Director of Music.
Residents' fury at Fishbourne over widening traffic build-up. From the Isle of Wight County Press. Traffic backlog problems at one of the Isle of Wight ports has led a parish council to complain to the ferry company. Whitelink's Fishbourne terminal on Fishbourne Lane has been the subject of residents' fury over the last few months, as traffic has built up seemingly every weekend. However, Whitelink says the island proved a popular getaway after lockdown, and residents were alerted when there are problems, but some isolated staff shortages may have impacted the backlog. Responding to the detrimental effect this has had to the residents, Fishbourne Parish Council has complained to the Isle of Wight's Council Planning Enforcement Team, as it says Whitelink has breached its traffic management plan. In its October meeting, the Parish Council said the backlog along Fishbourne Lane, particularly at weekends, has been detrimental to residents, and none of the measures outlined in the traffic management plan has been implemented. Parish Clerk Maxine Wall expressed residents' concern, saying, "Entry and exit of properties can be almost impossible when there is a tailback, and tempers can get quite frayed when residents appear to be jumping the queue to gain access to their homes," she said. The Parish Council has approached Whitelink on numerous occasions for a solution, but without success. "We have made a complaint regarding a breach of the traffic management plan, as we feel additional booths should be open for check-ins when there is heavy traffic backlog as detailed in the plan." Some residents along Fishbourne Lane have also put up fences to prevent people from the waiting cars looking into their properties. The Isle of Wight Council said it had been made aware of the alleged breach of the traffic plans and has written to remind Whitelink of the requirements. An Isle of Wight council person said, "It is recognised queuing at Fishbourne is a seasonal issue when ferry traffic is higher. It is considered by the local planning authority that Wight Link has tried to overcome this in recent years through changing the marshalling yard to give greater capacity, but also to try and get vehicles off the highway and to speed up the check-in. Changes to the terminal in recent years also include increasing the number of lanes so cars and HGVs can be separated, and a new upper-level link span to allow two streams of traffic to be loaded and unloaded simultaneously. The Isle of Wight Council is now asking the parish council and residents to let them know when the plan is being complied with, sending them the time, date and any photographic evidence. A spokesman for Wight Link has apologised to residents of Fishbourne disturbed by the queuing traffic, but said its Island Port Operations Manager, Martin Gulliver, had several meetings with them over the summer. Mr. Gulliver has also established a system of giving neighbours traffic alerts via text or WhatsApp messages in the event of problems. If any resident would like to receive updates, they should email martingulliver@whitelink.co.uk. In accordance with the traffic plan, the spokesperson said 2 check-in lanes were opened at peak times. However, during the pandemic, there had been a number of isolated incidents when Wight Link had not had staff available on site to do so immediately.
Behind the scenes on The Beast Must Die on the Isle of Wight, from Isle of Wight County Press. Providing the most stunning of backdrops, the Isle of Wight is the star of BritBox's new TV series, The Beast Must Die. Director Dome Karukaski has brought a stellar cast to live on the island for several weeks, along with a huge crew and production team. Local support actors, in their hundreds, have been drafted in too. The county press has been granted use of these behind-the-scenes images to show islanders a sneaky peek of what has been going on. There are only a few days of filming left in what has provided a bit of excitement, not to mention a huge financial boost to several businesses during this most difficult of years. Before being allowed on set, everyone has had to be tested for COVID-19 and provide a negative result. These hundreds of tests, combined with other strict COVID-secure measures, has allowed filming to continue as scheduled in dozens of locations from Bembridge to Allen Bay, Yarmouth to Ventnor. Director Karukaski exclusively told the county press his family had been welcomed to the island with open arms and the actors wanted to move here. The thriller stars BAFTA Award winner Jared Harris, Cush Jumbo, Geraldine James and Nathaniel Parker. The series is an adaptation of the 1938 novel The Beast Must Die by Nicholas Blake, the nom de plume of poet Cecil Day-Lewis, father of actor Daniel Day-Lewis. It tells the story of a grieving mother who infiltrates the life of the man she believes killed her son. BritBox is an ITV and BBC streaming service, and it will show the series in 2021. Island People Agency, run by Dadina Saga, has provided local support actors and helped find locations. You may also be fined £1,000 if you have tested positive and have given false information about your close contacts to NHS Test and Trace. That includes if you fail to name your close contacts or if you provide the names of people you haven't actually met with.
Co-op set to close from the Island Observer. Newport suffered a huge blow on Thursday when it was announced the cooperative store in Pyle Street and its post office will close next year. As the island went into a second lockdown, the cooperative put out a shock statement. A spokesperson confirmed the co-op is moving forward with a clear purpose and momentum, and while this often involves opening new stores, we also have to take the difficult decisions and review our existing sites and how they support our goals of creating a compelling offer for communities, viably and conveniently. Our Pyle Street Newport store will continue to serve our community through the present lockdown. However, after careful consideration, it will close next year. The decision is in no way a reflection on the hard work and commitment of colleagues who have been informed and are being fully supported. We'd like to thank the community for its support over the years. The branch will continue to operate over lockdown, but the store is due to close next February with job losses expected. A spokesperson for the post office said, "We've received a resignation for the operator of Newport Post Office. The vacancy will soon be advertised on our website, www.runapostoffice.co.uk, and our field team will speak to local retailers as we know how important a post office is to a community." It is in the latest big name store to close in the town, along with the likes of Pound Stretcher, HMV, Laura Ashley and Monsoon. A recent survey found more than 40 shops were unoccupied in the town.
Hello, this is Lisa, CEO of Site for Wight, with the charity update for this week. I'm very sorry to announce that due to lockdown, our planned return to opening the recording studio at Millbrook House this week and therefore returning to the USB stakes has had to be postponed until the end of this second lockdown. This is expected to be the 2nd of December, but of course, until we get nearer the time, we do not know for certain if this will happen. This week, however, has seen the launch of our new product, Hello Everyone. If I may take a little moment of your time to explain. In July, Debbie and I and some of the trustees went into the shop to look how we could make it COVID safe to reopen it. The result was we achieved this. However, we found that we required 12 notices around the shop detailing changes that had been made. For example, the changing rooms are closed. We no longer accepted cash. Refunds could be given if garments were returned with their original Dress for Less label. All sorts of things, including the social distancing, face masks and gloves policy. The simple truth was I found myself unable to read any one of the notices and indeed was quite disorientated by the change in layout of the shop. I sat down and thought the answer has to be simple. How can I make it so that the poster is read to me rather than having to physically read it? I pondered the idea for quite a while and then came up with hopefully a good solution. This is the Hello Everyone product, which has been launched yesterday, Thursday, with Hover Travel in Ryde. The concept is very simple. More and more people are getting used to having to scan QR codes when walking into premises for the Track and Trace NHS app. I took this QR code, but when you scan one of our Hello Everyone QR codes, it will take you to an audible file. That file will then give a description of what you need to know about the building that you are about to enter. So I took the 12 notices around the shop and compacted them into just 30 seconds of audible guidance instead. If you want to try the code, all you need is a smartphone. An iPhone or an Android phone will work. Newer models of smartphone, less than 2 years old, will usually, using the camera, scan automatically for QR codes. Some other phones do require a permission setting, but we can always help with this. So you scan the code with your phone and then you hear the audible file of everything that you need to know. I do travel myself quite a lot on Hover Travel, and I went to a meeting with them and suggested that this might be a good idea for them. They were absolutely enthralled with the idea, and yesterday we did a national press launch with them with the Hello Everyone codes put up both at Southsea and Ryde. Hopefully the national newspapers will pick this up and you will see us in the news over the next 7 days. We are all very passionate about the idea. We would like to see these QR codes on the entrance to every single building, so that as a visually impaired person you can scan them and then understand the basic layout of the room you're about to enter. I will of course come back to you with updates as this is taken forward. I hope everybody is safe and well and look forward to the time that we may meet again in person. In the meantime, stay safe. Thank you, Lisa.
Sight for Wight's short story writing competition is back, and this year's theme is The Wish. Celebrity readers are Ray Allen, Joe Brand, Melvin Hayes, and Idana Minghella. Entry forms are available from Dress for Less, 114 St James's Street, Newport, Millbrook House, 137 Carisbrooke Road, Newport, downloadable at sightforwight.org.uk, or email inquiries at iwsb.org.uk. Entry fee is £3 for under 18s and £6 for 18 plus. Closing date for entries is Friday the 13th of November at 4 p.m. Visit sightforwight.org.uk for more information, or telephone Chris on 52205.
Just a reminder, we still have raffle tickets for sale at Sight for Wight for our annual Christmas draw. This year, as part of our 125-year celebrations, we are offering a first prize of £125 cash, followed by 125 prizes. Tickets are only £1 each, so to be in with a chance of winning, please call the office on 522205 to purchase one. Payment can be taken over the phone with card payment. Skips for week commencing November the 9th, 2020. Cows area. Plot, Shaw Road, Gurnard. Corner of Shamblers and Arnold Road. 170 Mill Hill Road and 72 High Street. Ride area. 20 Nelson Street, 9 Millwood Road and 90A Monkton Street. Ventnor area. 31 Allotment Road, Knighton, 27 Spring Hill. Braiding area. Lay-by Brookfield Cottages, Upper Adgeston Road. And the scaffolding news for week commencing the 9th of November. Newport area. 10A Lugley Street. Exchange House, St Cross Lane. 54 Fairley Road. The Card Factory, 103 High Street. 143 High Street. The Halifax, High Street. Hayes Travel, 65 High Street. Ventnor area. Southview, Grove Road. 1 Pier Street. 4 Madeira Road. Shanklin, Corinthian Court, North Road. 9 Langard Road. 95 to 97 High Street. 49 High Street. Braiding area. 1 New Road. Totland area. Vector's House, Ward Road. Sandown area. Wight City Culver Parade. 20 High Street. 2 Pier Street. 12B High Street. Lower Borthwood Main Road, Alveston. 3 Station Avenue. Ride area. 168A High Street. The Colonnade 1 Lynn Street. 44 Union Street. 23 St John's Road. 11 and 12 Esplanade. 31 Cross Street. Nippert Court, West Street. Yarmouth area. Saxonbury, St James's Street. Port House, St James's Street. Cowes area. NatWest Bank, High Street. Rope Walk, Langley Road. Rope Walks Court, Mill Hill.
Sight for Wight would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Talking News. We would also like to thank our volunteers for reading, and a particular thank you to the Isle of Wight County Press, Isle of Wight Observer, On the Wight, Island Echo and Isle of Wight Radio. A special thank you must go to Vectis Radio, who has helped us get vital information to our members. Goodbye for now.